It is the... That's 2 or 3 times now, isn't it? 2, yeah. Come on, I'll get you one.
Thanks.
No, they're mine.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, here you go.
Thank you.
So for the purposes of demonstration, I am not going to create a border on the page, but I will require you to do so, okay? So I'm picking my starting point here, which I'm just going to call corner A. I'll take my 30-degree set square, and from corner A, I'm going to go up at 30 degrees. Looking at the image, the total width of the alarm clock is 195 millimeters. That's 19 and a half centimeters, so I'll put a mark there. Now, I might as well put in the widths of all the squares while I'm at it. So every square, as it says in the question, the grid is made up of 15 millimeter squares. So without moving the set square, I'm going to mark in my 15 millimeters. So it's 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120, 135, 150, 165, 180, 195. All done. On the left hand side of this line, I'm going to draw a vertical, and on the right hand side of that line, the last point, I'll draw a vertical. What is the overall height of this clock? It is 75 millimeters. I'll measure up 75 millimeters, and I don't need to measure it twice because I know that the bottom of the alarm clock is at a 30-degree angle, so therefore the top of the alarm clock should also be at a 30-degree angle. Now, I'm going to measure along the vertical and make it into my 15 millimeter grid. 15, 30, 45, 60 and 75. For each of them, I'm going to draw a 30-degree line in light pencil, because remember, this is not the goal. These are just construction lines. The goal is the actual numbers of the alarm clock.
What's the measurements for the height?
75.
75.
Yeah. Make sure our equipment is sharp as well, guys, and that we're using everything the way it's intended to be used. So my T-square has not moved. It's my set square is sliding along, and all of these lines are parallel. They're all the exact same angle. There should be no difference. And that's my grid complete. And now what I can do is I can go over that in a darker pencil or pen to make the numbers stand out. So we're looking for 9 o'clock. So I'm going to come down here by 1. Diagonally for the left hand corner of 9. Then I go across 2 squares for the top of 9. And down all the way to the bottom. The bottom will be 1 square. Up by 2 squares at an angle of 1 square, and then diagonally across this square. For the internal component of the 9, I do this square here. There's no time for talking here, guys. Let's get this work done so that we don't have any homework.
Hi.
Hello.
I was just coming up for the prefect badge.
Yeah.
Just because I have to go home after break. I have an appointment.
Yeah, I'll have to get it to you tomorrow. Is that okay? Because I'm
Yeah.
class till lunchtime. I thought you might be around at lunch.
Well, I can call up at lunch, but I'll be leaving like around.
Yeah, call up at lunch.
Around that, right.
I'll be free at lunch and I'll get it.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katrina. So remember, guys, when I'm redrawing the lines, I don't just use a set square on its own. If it's a vertical line, I will draw it like I usually draw a vertical line. I'll use the T-square and the set square as we're supposed to be used. If it's a 30-degree line, I don't just use the set square on its own because it could be inaccurate. If I want to be accurate, I'll use it as it is intended to be used. So there's my grid. Okay, there's my 9:30, sorry, on my alarm clock, completed. Now I have to, well, sorry, that's just the front face, apologies. Now I have to turn it into 3D. So instead of this time, I'm just going to take a different approach just to see if this works with people. Well, I'm not going to do the outer casing as we would usually do. I'm just going to take each individual line and do that at 90 or at 30 degrees. So now I have my set square set up differently. Again, we don't need the 45, so I can put that to the side. So it's my 30 and 60 degree set square. So from the corner points, I'm going to work from the bottom left corner. I go off at 30 degrees. Now if I read the question, it says that, it doesn't actually say, does it? Oh, it does, yeah. Sorry, it shows that the thickness of the object is 15. See this plan view here? It shows me that the thickness of the object is 15. So therefore I know that the thickness from the front of the 930 to the back should be 15 millimeters. So I'll draw my 30 degree line at 50 millimeters, and if the front line is vertical, well then the back line should be the same. Okay, and so again 30 degrees at 15 millimeters, and if the front line is vertical, well then the back line should be vertical. How long will it be? It doesn't matter. I'll do a light pencil line and then I'll join this corner up to meet it. I can then lean heavier on those lines and redraw them to make them stand out as is intended. Again, 30 degrees at 15 millimeters. So 30 degrees for 15 millimeters gets me to there. And then I can join those 2 points up because that's not a specific angle, and that can go in heavy detail because it will stand out. Okay, from this corner 15 millimeters out, and then a 30 degree line. Why a 30 degree line? Because the front of the 930 is 30 degrees, so therefore the back should be the same. In that 930, is there anything that I'm missing? Just look at the 9 itself, the number 9. Is there any detail or information that I'm missing?
The inside of the door.
You had your hand up?
The inside.
The inside, exactly. So show that off. So we go again, I line it up, so 15 degree or 15 millimeters from here gets me to there, so therefore I don't have to do anything else because I won't see the line. 9 is finished. Number 9 is completed 3D. If I can do one letter or one number, therefore I should be able to do all of them. It's the same rule applies, line by line.
So again, we're going to come back and do the two colons at 15 millimeters at 30 degrees. And I do need to measure this because I will see one of the lines, so... Just remember guys, the shading is not a requirement, it just makes it look better. And it improves our shading skills. So I'd like you to do them, okay? And what I mean by it's not a requirement, it's not a requirement for the exam. It is a requirement for your homework. And it's only not a requirement for the exam unless it's asked. If it's asked, then it is a requirement. Generally it's not asked. So again, I'm moving on to the tree. We go ahead at 15 millimeters. 30 degrees for 15 millimeters. Are we okay? You don't understand this? Please ask if you don't, that's what I'm here for. Now if we look at the zoo here guys, have I got the zoo fully complete, you tell me? Inside as well, good, don't forget the inside because it's an easy area to forget. It's an easy area to lose marks on, so don't forget it.